All right, let's get right into it. If you're getting ready for the digital SAT, you are in the right place. We're about to pull back the curtain on a seriously game-changing strategy for the math section. This is going to turn some of the scariest-looking problems into the easiest points you'll get all day. So, first things first, let's talk about something that makes pretty much every student's stomach drop a little on test day. You know that feeling when you're scrolling through the questions and then you see it? Yep, that thing. A table packed with numbers, a bunch of X and Y values, and the question is asking you to find the, quote, line of best fit. With that clock ticking down, it just feels like a trap, right? Like it's designed to be a nightmare of frantic calculations. But what if I told you that these questions aren't a trap at all? What if they're actually a gift? Seriously, with the right technique, these become some of the fastest, most guaranteed points you can possibly score. You just have to know the secret. And here's the best part. That secret is already built right into the test software. It's the Desmos calculator, and we're not just going to use it, we're going to turn it into your own personal secret weapon for these data problems. Now, the official, fancy term for what we're doing is linear regression. I know, that sounds super technical and boring, but forget the textbook definition. For the SAT, all you need to know is that it's just finding the line that best fits the dots on a graph. And Desmos, it does literally all of the heavy lifting for you. And just think about the edge this gives you. First off, you completely eliminate the chance of making a dumb calculation mistake. We've all been there. Second, you save so much time, minutes that you can now spend on those really brutal questions in the second module. And you know when all the answer choices look almost the same? This hack cuts right through the noise and gives you the exact answer. It's foolproof. So, how does it actually work? It's not complicated, I promise. It's a simple 4-step process. A kind of magic formula you can use every single time you see one of these questions. And here it is. This little line of text is the key to the entire kingdom. Now look closely. It looks a lot like y equals mx plus b, right? But there are two huge differences. First, see that little squiggly line? That's a tilde, and that's what tells Desmos, hey, run a regression for me. Second, and this is so important, notice the little ones next to the y and the x? You cannot forget those. Okay, let's walk through it. It's literally 4 moves. 1, you hit the little plus icon and add a table. Easy. 2, you just copy the numbers from the question into the x1 and y1 columns. No thinking, just typing. 3, in the next line you type in our magic formula y1 tilde mx1 plus b. And 4? Well, there is no 4. You just read the answer. Desmos spits out the slope and the y-intercept instantly. This is what it looks like when you're done. You've got your data in the table, you've typed the formula, and bam, look at that. Right underneath, under parameters, Desmos just tells you the answer. The slope, m, is 2.05, the y-intercept, b, is 0.05. No guessing, no long division, just the answer. Okay, so once you've got that down, we can actually level up, because Desmos gives you even more information that can help you crush even the trickiest statistics questions. Desmos also calculates something called the correlation coefficient, which is just R. All you gotta know is that this number tells you how perfectly your data fits on a line. If R is super close to 1, it's a strong positive trend. If it's close to -1, it's a strong negative trend. And if it's near 0, the data's a total mess. It's just another piece of info the calculator hands you for free. And get this, it doesn't only work for straight lines. Most of the time on the SAT, it's linear, but sometimes, especially on the harder questions, they might throw a curve at you. Well, you just use the same exact idea. You just tweak the formula a tiny bit to match a quadratic or an exponential function. It's insanely powerful. All right, just a quick heads up. There is one common mistake that everyone makes when they first try this. They forget the little subscripts. Remember, the columns in your table are labeled x1 and y1. So your formula has to match. It has to use x1 and y1. If you just type plain old x and y, Desmos gets confused and nothing happens. Don't let that be you. Okay, theory time is over. Let's put this all together and see the hack in action, in real time. I want you to see just how ridiculously fast you can go from reading a problem to locking in the right answer. So here's our challenge problem straight from the source material. A researcher, a plant, 4 weeks of data. Classic SAT setup. The question is, what's the slope of the line of best fit? Now imagine that pops up on your screen. You feel that little jolt of anxiety? Well, don't, because here's what you're going to do. You open a table, pop in those 4 points, type y1 tilde mx1 plus b, and you look at the m value. The slope is about 2.93. That's it. Question over. And the time on the clock, probably less than 15 seconds, no joke. From the moment you read the question to having the precise slope. 15 seconds. And that's really the whole point here. This isn't just some clever little trick. It's a complete shift in how you approach the test. You've taken a question that was designed to be a time waster, a real grind, and you've turned it into one of the quickest questions on the entire exam. That frees up your mental energy for the problems that actually require it. And that really just leaves us with one final, pretty exciting question. If a problem that looks this complicated can be solved in under 15 seconds, what other hard problems on the SAT are secretly just waiting for the right strategy to crack them wide open? The answer to that is a lot more than you think.